Well, if you remember back when the M28 Tromboncino was released in our Tides of War challenge, it introduced a unique grenade launcher attachment with its own specialization that allowed you to put more damage against tanks. Unfortunately, this new feature was bugged, and since the medic class isn't really the class you should be using if you really want to take out tanks, we had to wait till this new specialization was fixed to see how impactful this grenade launcher really could be on the battlefield. With the most recent update though, this new feature has been fixed, so I finally had a chance to give this new launcher a try. Here's a clip of me engaging an enemy player close to the end of a round where I went 1 versus 1 against a fully armored Tiger tank, and even though each hit isn't the most severe damages, it's still pretty significant damage from a medic class against a heavy tank like the Tiger tank. Now granted, it's still a medic attachment, and I wasn't expecting this to be the silver bullet of anti-tank weaponry to hit Battlefield 5, but I was hoping for some significance, and given the right environment like in this scenario, where I'm able to continuously refill my grenade launcher while using smoke to conceal myself, I was almost able to take this tank out before the end of the round. But given the fact I was able to even get the tank this low to begin with, for me it's actually not all too bad and a pleasant surprise to see something like this make it to the medic class. Since the medic class is pretty much non-existent when it comes to those tank versus tank battles, this little grenade launcher is quite the improvement, especially if you don't want to sacrifice the abilities the medic class offers when you're on those heavy vehicle maps. You could very much go to swapping out for this gun, making sure to have the improved grenade specialization equipped, and go right back to rezzing your teammates on the battlefield while keeping those vehicles in check with your new grenade launcher. In my opinion though, it's really best used when the tanks are weaker in health, or against smaller armored vehicles like light tanks or armored cars. This is something where if you're hitting the right spots, you could very much end up finishing off those smaller armored vehicles with only your grenade launcher. Now you do gotta consider it does increase direct damage against vehicles, as the specialization description says, but it reduces the blast damage and radius, so you really want to make sure you hit your shots directly against the tank and not close around it. It's also not the most accurate of things, so trying to hit a tank from far away is going to cause you to really have to compensate your aim, and even then it's going to be a bit of a struggle, so you're unfortunately going to have to be real close to these tanks to maximize what this grenade launcher can do. It's why you saw me in my first clip when I was battling that Tiger tank. I was using a ton of smoke because that's really all you have going for you to survive and have any chance running close enough to laying down a few accurate grenade shots and then running back and refueling yourself and re-engaging again. So it's also a bit of a grind reloading it and firing it again, so all this needs to be considered if you plan on engaging a tank for yourself. But with that said, it was nice seeing what the specialization can really do on the battlefield. The Tromboncino is one of 2 bolt-action carbine rifles that not too long ago made it into Battlefield 5, where you can one-headshot enemy players from those close to mid-range battles, branching away from the traditional SMGs that have dominated the medic class playstyle since the launch of Battlefield 5. And now with this grenade launcher fixed, it'll be interesting to see how much more the playstyle evolves for the medics. Will we see more medic players be less reluctant to jump off the class when it comes to those heavy vehicle maps? Because of this, does this mean more medics playing on the battlefield, which would mean more chances of getting res? I think if the grenade launcher helps improve the chances of us getting res, I see this as nothing to complain about and only a positive thing to make it into Battlefield 5. But if you haven't had a chance to try this fixed grenade launcher out, do go try it out and let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. But that's it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later.